Alright everyone, let's go ahead and start with our exemptions class now. Baba, we started learning GST with goods and service. Goods and service had to be supplied. Supply has to be by a taxable person and he has to be doing taxable supply. Only then GST was levied. Baba, GST was levied. Everyone here, goods section number 252, services section number 2102, supply section number 7, supply section number 8, taxable person section number 22, 23 and 24. And Baba, procedures were from 25 to 30. Then we had taxable supply, but if you are doing non-taxable supply means you are out of GST. But if you are doing taxable supply, GST shall be levied. Baba, GST was levied on the section number 9 and we learned about composition levy, which was section number 10. Once GST was levied, government in public interest by using the power which is given under section number 11 can go ahead and exempt some supplies. Although they are taxable, but government can, although GST is levied, but government can say, go ahead and say, we will not go ahead and collect GST on them. In public interest, we will exempt. And Baba, government has the power under section number 11 to go ahead and exempt few supplies. And Baba, under exemption, we have goods which are exempted, we have services which are exempted. Now, goods which are exempted are not a part of your syllabus. They are not going to ask you, but services, they will definitely ask you, and there are around 85 to 90 services which are there, which we will be learning. Baba, let's start with our first service, which is relating to charitable and religious activities. Baba, religious and charitable activities are also exempted. Some activities are being exempted. Let's start understanding one by one all of them. Now, if there is an entity, if there is any entity, might be a charitable entity or any entity which is registered, or a trust which is registered under 12AA of the Income Tax Act. So, Baba, there is a charitable entity which is registered under 12AA of the Income Tax Act. Baba, you will see over here, I have written many of the entries, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the 6 entries. Wherever you will see charitable institution, I have clubbed together and put it in one chart. So, let's go ahead and start understanding one by one all of them. Everyone here, the first is, if there is an entity which is registered under 12AA of the Income Tax Act and it is providing services which are charitable activity, and Baba, charitable activity relating to what? Charitable activity relating to public health. Baba, public health, if there is a charitable entity, basically an entity which is registered under 12AA and it is doing, so there has to be a charitable entity, basically an entity which is registered under 12AA of the Income Tax Act, plus it has to be doing charitable activity. Sir, charitable activity means, supposingly I am teaching, can I say that I am also doing charitable activity? Baba, we'll have to see what are the charitable activities which are exempted. So, if there is an entity which is registered under 12AA and it is doing charitable activity, what are the charitable activity it can do which will lead to exemption? Number 1, it can do charitable activity relating to public health. Baba, what are the activity which it can do relating to public health? Public health by way of care and counseling. It is doing care and counseling of whom? Of terminally ill people, severely physically, mentally disabled people, people with HIV or AIDS infection, drug addict, alcohol addict, then their services will be exempt. So, if I am a charitable institution doing charitable activity by doing what? Care and counseling of terminally ill people, Baba, severely physically or disabled, mentally disabled people, people with HIV or drugs, alcohol addict, drug addicts, etc., my services will be exempt. Sir, if I am doing public health by way of public awareness, see Baba, public awareness, I am doing public awareness for preventive health or family planning or prevention of HIV infection. So Baba, what I am doing is, I am doing public awareness relating to what? Public awareness relating to preventive health, so that you don't become sick. Family planning, I am doing public awareness for family planning, prevention of HIV infection, all this ka public awareness. If I am doing public awareness ke liye, I might be doing program, my services will be exempt. So, number 1 was charitable activity relating to what? Care and counseling of terminally ill people, severely disabled people, HIV infected people, drug addicts, alcohol addicts, etc. Or Baba, public awareness, if I am doing relating to what? Public health, prevention of HIV infection, family planning, etc., then my services will be exempted if I am a charitable institution registered under 12AA. Secondly, if I am a charitable institution registered under 12AA and doing which activity? Activity which is relating to advancement of religion, spirituality and yoga. So basically I am going ahead and promoting religion. Baba, I am going ahead and promoting religion among people. I am going ahead and promoting spirituality. Baba, spirituality, know yourself. I am teaching people. I am promoting spirituality. Or Baba, I am going ahead and promoting yoga. Supposingly, I am organizing yoga camp. Baba, whatever a charitable institution, if it is registered under 12 AA and doing what? Advancement of religion. It is spreading religion के लिए it is talking among people, it is advancing religion, or Baba it is advancing what? Spirituality. Then Baba, or it is doing yoga camp, then their activities are exempt. Or if I am a charitable institution and doing advancement of what? Advancement of skill program, educational program, skill development relating to what? Abandoned, orphaned, homeless children. I am doing education. I am a charitable institution doing educational program for whom? For abandoned, homeless children. Or Baba, I am a charitable institution doing educational program or skill development program relating to physically, mentally or traumatized people. I am doing a good job by going ahead and doing educational program for whom? Physically, mentally abused or traumatized people. Then my activities also will be exempt. If I am doing educational program for prisoners, skill development program for prisoners, so that when they come out of the prison, they become good people. So if I am doing that activity, my activity will be exempt. If I am doing educational program or skill development program for persons whose age is greater than 65 and they are residing in a rural area, be very careful, they should be residing in a rural area, my activity will be exempt. So I am a charitable institution registered under 12 AA and doing educational program for abandoned homeless children, or Baba physically mentally traumatized people, prisoners, or I am doing for person whose age is greater than 65 and Baba they are residing in a rural area, then my services will be exempt. Next, sir, if I am doing preservation of environment, watershed, forest, wildlife, etc. If I am a charitable institution and going ahead and doing this activity, what activity? Preservation of environment. I am doing an activity towards preservation of watershed. If I am doing an activity towards preservation of forest, if I am doing an activity towards preservation of wildlife, then Baba my activity will be exempt. I hope everyone is clear. So Baba, there has to be a charitable institution which is registered under 12 AA, basically an entity registered under 12 AA. You can call it an entity registered under 12 AA and it is doing charitable activity. Sir, charitable activity can be P for public health, A for advancement of religion, spirituality and yoga, P for preservation of watershed, animal, wildlife, etc. and E for educational program or skill development program. Baba, you are a charitable institution registered under 12 AA and yet you are doing which activity? P activity, public health related activity, advancement of religion, spirituality and yoga, preservation of wildlife, watersheds, etc. and E for educational program basically for orphan children, homeless children, person above the great age of 65 residing in rural area or prisoners, then your activity will be exempted. I hope everyone is clear. The next is, if you are an entity registered under 12 AA and you are taking care of old people, Baba, you are running an old age home, you are an entity registered under 12 AA and you are running an old age home, and for every person you are charging only up to 25,000 per month. Baba, if you are charging for a person only up to 25,000 per month, for whom? Old age home means old people must be staying, and old people means resident. First of all, it should be a resident, not a non-resident, resident greater than 60 years. So if there is a old age home and Baba they are registered under 12 AA and they are taking care of people whose age is greater than or equal to 65 and they are charging consideration up to 25,000 for boarding, lodging or maintenance per month per member. So supposingly one son is there, he is staying in abroad, Baba he wants to take care of his parents but he can't come to India. So in India he went to a charitable institution and told that, can you please take care of my parents, I will send you the money. So if the son is paying to the charitable institution up to 25,000 per member ke liye, for his father 25, for his mother 25, then Baba the charitable institution is not liable to charge GST because up to 25,000 per month per member is exempt. But it has to be a charitable institution and the residence should be greater than or equal to 60 years. Next, note, Baba, charitable institution can also run an old age home, or the old age home can also be run by central government or state government, that will also be exempt. So if there is a charitable institution running an old age home or government running an old age home, Baba, and they are charging only up to 25,000 per month per member, member means per person, then Baba it shall be exempt. The next activity is rehabilitation professional ka activity. So what, there is a rehabilitation professional is providing his services. Basically, what is rehabilitation? One person is there, he has become drug addict Now, Baba, he has to get back to normal life. So he needs therapy, he needs counseling, he needs rehabilitation so that he can come back to his normal life. And Baba, the process of from a drug addict to a normal life, Baba, who will help you? The help will be given by rehabilitation professional. So if I am a rehabilitation professional and I am providing my services where at an entity registered under 12AA, or I am providing my services at an educational institution or at a medical institution or at a rehab center which is set up by the central government. So I am providing, so I am a rehabilitation professional and I am working supposingly at an entity registered under 12AA or at an educational institution or at a medical institution and Baba, at a rehab center which is set up by the government, and I am providing what? Therapy, rehabilitation, therapy or counseling to these people, basically drug addicts, etc. So my services to them will be exempt provided I am providing my services at an entity registered under 12AA or at an educational institution or at a medical institution or at a rehab center which is set up by the central government, state government or union territory. Supposingly, I have set up my rehab center at home only. I call these drug addicts at home and I give them counseling. Baba, then my services are not exempt. My services, rehabilitation professional ka services will be exempt only if I am giving rehabilitation services where at an entity registered under 12AA or at an educational institution or at a medical institution or at a rehab center. Next. The next is renting of precinct. Baba, if there is an entity which is registered under 12A, basically a temple trust, and it is going ahead and giving its precincts on rent, basically the area of the temple premises which is meant for the general public on rent. Baba, temples generally give their rooms on rent, premises on rent, Kalyan Mandapam, Kalyanam, where marriages will happen, Kalyan Mandapam on rent, or Baba, it gives its shops on rent. Now, I went to the temple and I asked how much is room rent. They told 1000 rupees. Sir, I will tell 1 rupee I'll put in the hundi. You take 999. It will be exempt. So, Baba, I went to a temple. I told them temple means a trust basically, and they are giving rooms on rent. I asked them how much, sir. They told 1000 rupees. I tell 1 rupee I'll put in the hundi. 999 exempt. Then I told I want open area for my marriage. They told, sir, 10,000 rupees per day. I'll tell, sir, I'll put 1 rupee in the hundi. You charge 9999. It will be exempt. Then I went to one temple. I told Baba, I want to set up one small prasadam ka shop. Can you give me a shop on rent? Baba, you will see outside the temple premises or inside the temple premises or on the border of the temple premises. Basically, within the precinct, within the border of the temple, if you get a shop, the temple ka area which is there, in that area if you get a shop, they told supposingly 10,000 rupees per month rent. I will tell, sir, please 1 rupee I'll put in the hundi. You take 9999 because 9999 is exempt per month. I hope everyone is clear. Always remember, in case of temple, 999 or 9999 is exempt because there is a hundi where you can put 1 rupee and 999 or 9999 will be exempt. Always note 999 or 9999 is exempt in case of religious place. Baba, Panditji services are also exempt. Baba, Panditji will come, they will do puja, etc. Panditji ka services are also exempt. Next, if one temple trust is there and it is giving hostel accommodation, then hostel accommodation, if it is charging 9999 per day, it is exempt. Don't forget, if a hostel accommodation is given by a temple trust, 9999 per day, it is charging, then its services will be exempt. Religious pilgrimage. Baba, if there is services provided by Kumao Mandal Vikas Nigam Limited, and Baba, it is giving Kailash Mansura Yatra. Basically, Kumao Mandal Vikas Nigam Limited gives you Kailash Mansura Yatra. So, Baba, their services of providing you the Kailash Mansura Yatra, there will be no GST. Baba, Hajj committee is there. Hajj committee goes ahead and gives you Hajj Yatra. Also, there is no GST. I hope everyone is clear. So, whenever Kumao Mandal Nigam Limited will give you Kailash Mansura Yatra, on that there is no GST. Whenever Hajj committee will give you Hajj Yatra, on that also they will not charge GST, because religious pilgrimage, one for the Hindus, one for the Muslims, has been exempted by the government. Next is, Baba, if there is an entity which is registered under 12AA and Baba, it is going ahead and providing you training or coaching in recreational activity. Recreational activity means leisure activities. Recreational activity relating to what? Sports, then that activity will be exempt. So, Baba, there is a charitable institution and it is giving you training or coaching in badminton, Baba, then it will be exempt. But supposingly, Prakash Padukone, Deepika Padukone's dad is giving you training in badminton, Baba, he will go ahead and charge GST because he is not a entity which is a charitable entity registered under 12AA. But if there is a trust which is registered under 12AA and Baba it is giving training activity in sports, then their activity will be exempted. I hope everyone is clear. One more thing is there, if training or coaching is given in recreational activity relating to art, culture, is also exempt. Baba, art or culture ka activity, Baba, if I am a person, I am giving training or recreational activity in what? Art or culture. Baba, anyone giving training or coaching in art or culture is exempt. Any person, not necessarily by a charitable institution, but training or coaching in sports will be exempt only if given by whom? By an entity registered under 12AA. Here we are done with charitable and religious activity. Right, everyone? We'll stop our discussion here in the next class, next chart.